We're here in a windswept Mosney in County Meath, the training base for Drogheda United Football Club, the Eircom League champions. The lads are in pre-season training here behind me as they get ready to embark on a new season where they'll look to defend their title, but also the Setanta Sports Cup, which they also won last year. It hasn't always been a bed of roses for this club though. Less than 4 years ago, the club almost went out of existence. We're here to find out the story of how they went from bottom of the table to become the champions. Drogheda United embark on 2008 with a strong squad and will be seen by many as the team to beat. The club has a loyal and dedicated fan base, no more so than Tom Riley, a local historian and lifelong Drogs fan who has written a book which details the trials and tribulations of the club.
I think the first real vivid memory I have was 1971 when we reached the FAI Cup final. And it was a huge event in the town. You know, in those days, a lot of people used to support local soccer. And we went and we lost the game, which made a huge impression on me. And ever since then, we've been trying for success. But when you're very young and those sorts of things happen to you, you know, it stays. And an awful lot of people in the town are the same way.
Of course, you've seen quite a lot of success in a very short period of time. I suppose in the last 3 years they've been really brilliant times for Drogheda United fans.
Well, this is the incredible thing. I mean, the league, we joined the league in 1963 and ever since then we've been trying to win it. So effectively we failed every single time to win the league, you know. And yeah, we've been starved. It's incredible to think that we've come from virtually nowhere, you know. In 2001, 2002 we finished bottom of the first division, you know. So yeah, they're incredible times. I mean, to actually be a lifelong fan and to realise the cup was the first thing we won, of course, in 2005, and that was just incredible because the magic of the cup is just that. It's the magic of the cup, and you know, I have to say, I shed a tear on that day. It was just amazing.
Talk to me about the more difficult times, because it's well documented that the club almost went out of existence.
Yeah, on no less than 3 occasions. It's very difficult to sustain a League of Ireland club, particularly through the doldrums. When the first division was introduced in the mid-80s, you know, it was difficult to attract players to the club. There were longer journeys and money was very tight. Crowds were small. You know, it wasn't unusual. There's a famous game when we played St Francis in the first division. We were second from the bottom, they were bottom, and I think there was about 73 people at the game. And it's impossible to sustain a League of Ireland football club at that sort of level of attendance, you know. But yeah, I mean, those days are well past us, thanks be to God, and at this point in time, the future is just exceptionally bright, you know. I mean, the foundations that have been built here at Drogheda are just amazing. I mean, it's just okay, we've won the cup, or the holders of the Setanta Cup, and we've won the league, but that's just the start. As the motto goes, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Guy Bates joined the club in the summer transfer window last season and will go down in history as the man who scored the goal that ultimately won the Eircom League Premier Division for the first time.
All the hard work had been done by the boys during the season, you know. I think you know, to say that I scored a goal that won the league is, you know, it's a very bit harsh on the boys, you know, after they put in all the hard work all year.
Pre-season training pretty much out of the way now at this stage. How was it this year?
It was difficult for me, you know. I picked up a few injuries, so I think I'll be doing a bit extra, standing behind doing a bit extra.
Well, you reckon you scored the most goals in training there today, so is that something Drogheda United fans might see next season?
Well, I hope so. I mean, like I said before, you know, it's all about the team, you know. It's you know, we work really hard, and you know, if I can contribute with as many goals as possible, then that's great.
What would be the expectations from this squad for this season now that you have to go and defend for the title and also the Setanta Sports Cup?
I think you know, it's a difficult question, you know. I mean, we obviously have our own goals, and you know, we're obviously working towards them every day in training, and you know, we'll talk about them individually and collectively. But you know, we know we've got a tough task ahead. I mean, a lot of teams have strengthened, and it's going to be a really difficult year for us.
Of course, you also have the Champions League to look forward to, which for any player has to be a nice thing at the beginning of any season.
Absolutely. I mean, it gives you that extra step, you know, when you walk, and you know, it gives you that extra thing to look forward to when you're coming into training. You know, it's obviously you want to play as high as possible, and hopefully we can do that. You know, hopefully we can go far this year.
Declan, one of the things that you probably had the greatest honour of was being the first Drogheda United captain to lift a major trophy. Can you explain to me how important a day that was for you?
Yeah, I think it was a massive moment in the history of Drogheda, like for the club, for everyone involved at the time. But like just moved on from that. Like we're just looking to establish ourselves as a top club over here, probably progress in Europe. And yeah, it was a great moment, but as I said, you can't live on great moments. You just have to move on to the next challenge, and that's what we're doing this year again. It's a clean slate again, and we're looking to win more trophies and be successful, as I said.
Paul, the man charged with looking after the team, but I suppose the man that's probably brought the success to the club.
Well, I think, as I said before, Lisa, it would be easy to say that, I think, but it would be wrong as well. I think, I think everybody connected with the club has sort of, let's say, rose the club from where it was in the ashes, I'd say, over the last 3 or 4 years. I think from the people that came in that financed the club, the supporters were always there. I think the history of it, they always had good following. And I think the players then again, have been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think at first when we went to full-time football, I think people think it's an easy thing. You just go and it just follows on, success rolls on. But we've worked hard, but it's been great. And I do think that the standard has certainly risen. There's a lot more full-time clubs, which is a huge reason, and also better players probably coming into the league from overseas. And as I said, if we want to progress as a league, you need to have good everything. You need to have good teams, good clubs. You need to have good facilities. So as I said, it's great. For our supporters, I said they've been long suffering over the years, but those days are gone. I think the history of the club is probably only in the last 4 years is what people probably want to remember. So hopefully, as I said, the important thing for us is to try and move on. The other clubs certainly have got stronger. There's more finance going into other clubs, but then that leads to pressure as well for other managers and other clubs. That was us last year. As I said, people tried to put pressure on us. We came through and we delivered the goods, and as I said, other teams have to do it now. So as I say, it's a good challenge for us, but there was no more challenge bigger than going from second from bottom to the top. So that'll keep us in good stead, I feel, for the coming season.
If we walk along our main street, West Street, you will see people, men, women, children, wearing their colours. They're showing their loyalty to the club, and that's huge. I mean, there were times when people would be embarrassed to wear the claret and blue. So the whole effect that it has on the community is tremendous. I mean, I know even this year that the club took the league trophy around to over 25,000 school kids, and the reception in every one of the schools was just fantastic. And that's what we're doing. We're reaching out to the youth to make sure that the support will be there in the future as well.
With Cup success in 2005, 2006 and 2007, Drogheda United will be hoping to have another few trophies to polish come the end of season 2008.